Hey, what's happening, guys? Elton here, aka Retro Old School. Beautiful morning here in Montreal. Today being the 5th of September 2020, and felt like reminiscing. And since I always go to usual same places here in Montreal, I figured why not go to my old stomping grounds where I lived for several years in the 80s, between 84 and 91 here in Roxboro, in the old suburbs of Montreal. And even though I'm not feeling 100%, I was hoping I was going to feel better, but I don't feel terrible, but I don't feel great, so I don't think it's going to be a very long outing, unfortunately. Pericarditis doesn't want to leave me alone. Yeah, on the 11th Avenue. What the hell? I thought this was called Commercial Center. And 9e Rue, 9th Street. That's right, we're here because I used to live on this street in question. And I have to say, you know, recently I had the pleasure of meeting a friend of mine who's got a channel like me there on YouTube. His name is Scott Newstead, and his channel is Cold War Motors, and he came all the way from Alberta to deliver a Citroën that him and his friends restored. And I was telling him about how, you know, my favorite car is a '59 Cadillac, and when I was a kid, I mean, we're going back in the mid-late '80s, I had a friend who was on a baseball team, and right here one day, I was throwing a ball around with this kid, you know, and I see this red with a white top '59 Cadillac Series 62 coming up the street, and I'm like, I stopped breathing practically, and I watched it turn the corner onto my street there, 390 V8, and that was, and I recognized the car because of course, the famous Ghostbusters movie, which came out in '84, you know. So anyway, without further ado, let's take a walk here. And on top of that, also see the neighbors' houses. I'll comment about the cars in that area next to my house. And oddly enough, there was a guy when I was in Scouts, him and his brother were in our troop, and their names were Ariz and Zaire. And they were good guys. They were, I don't know, Hindu or Pakistani origin or something. And it's funny, I haven't been here in years. It's funny to be here, you know. It's I live in the inner city, and I next year I definitely want to move in an area where it's not totally in the sticks like this, because I can't drive legally because I'm visually impaired, but you know, something half in between, nothing more this urban with all these fucking derelicts of society and graffiti everywhere and garbage and all this crap. It's just a bunch of crap, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to see if I can do the whole street, which finishes at 14th Street. So it's a few blocks, but it's not long, 20 minutes maybe, give or take. And is this guy following me, or what's this person checking up on me? What's the story there? They backed up out of that house there. I don't know, maybe they recognize me. I think I'm a fucking spy or something. And the guy who had the Cadillac, the '59 Cadillac, lived up there somewhere a few blocks from here, and I became friends with the owner's son, and just a lot of nice memories growing up here, up until, of course, then my parents divorced, and then it just changed the whole game, as they say, you know, unfortunately. And parents sold the house. Dad bought a condo, and my mom, she bought a condo as well, and we moved, me, my brother, and my mom, further away from here in Pierrefonds, which is west of here, just west of here. Of course, now this is referred to as Roxboro, Pierrefonds. So, of course, I had my friend Robbie McDonald there that oh my lord, this sounds like one of the fucking guys from my area. Anyway, oh, that's so fucking annoying. Seriously, I hope you get pulled over with a big ticket. There is no way that's fucking legal. Never a cop around, you need one. Anyway, my friend Robbie McDonald lived over there on where we started there, just off of one of those streets. And unfortunately, that friendship didn't last. You know what they say, all good things come to an end. And that is your typical 50s American-style home, you know. But we're coming up soon to my place there. Look at the nice touch with the awning. Actually, I remember coming here a few years ago with an ex-friend of mine there. Speaking of good things that come to an end, there's another one. Boy, that car is fucking, even on top of that, it needs a tune-up. It smells like shit, you know. Look at that, eh? Beautiful. Beautiful property. The neighbors across the street there, they had a beautiful property like that as well, too. Everybody must be mystified, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? What's he filming? I remember the street behind here though was called General Brock. And now we're at 13th Avenue just for good luck. Right? So you can see all this shit on Google Street View, but there's no narration, there's no stories, there's no insight. You know? Whoa, what did I just miss? Good old Ford. Good old Ford F-150, F-350, F-250, yada, 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 getting closer to my house. Yeah, so the neighbor over here, this old lady, her name was Rita Desjardins. She had a nice Pontiac 6000 wagon with the fake wood on it. I don't know, 87 or 88. Apparently, my mom was reminding me that she wasn't poor at the time. And nice lady, but apparently when we took a trip to Myrtle Beach back in the day there in whatever, 89, she apparently she found us at the motel we were at. she was like, she even trapped, she would like to trap squirrels in the back of her yard in cages. So she was a strange bird. I even remember one time she told us a story about how the cops would, like, sometimes she'd have the cops chase her and stuff and she'd lose them. And now this is the only thing that's too bad about coming back to the old home here is look at all this overgrowth here compared to the other properties. What the fuck was the point of that? Who came up with this idea? Who bought the house and did that? I have no idea. I don't understand why. Look, everybody has a nice view except for this one. You know, beautiful home and you can't even see it. I never understood that, seriously. I don't understand that. Now, of course, the old Canes, these old folks, they lived right here, and they had your typical Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra in blue there, mid-80s at the time. We had the Corellis, they lived next to us. They were a young couple. Mark Corelli worked for Gray Line. They had a Volvo, and I remember they had an 80 Cutlass Supreme that they sold to an ex-friend of mine. Well, anyway, look, I mean, our house, there it is, but it looked like this one here, but you can't see a goddamn thing there. What a shame. That is a goddamn shame. My room was right there where that window was. So like I said, we lived there between 84 and 91. Lots of happy times in the balcony in the back. And I remember mowing the lawn, and my dad's 79 Delta 88 was right there. Navy blue. It's nice. Lots of souvenirs. Des bons souvenirs, as we say in French. The old Canes, very nice old folks. And interestingly enough, this house here, which I've mentioned a couple of times, these folks here, they had a 66 Toronado in the garage in great condition, and you rarely ever see it driven. It was, they would drive it like at parade speed. I mean, and one time, I remember I had a really good look at it up close because it was parked right here on the street, which is very unusual. But anyway, that's really what our house looks like right there, just like this one. So this one, I'm sure, was built in '54, likely just like ours. And it had the one-piece garage door there, and yeah, des bons souvenirs, as we say in French, good memories. I'm feeling better walking, though, I have to say, just nice and easy, because maybe that's why I don't feel too good too, because I spent really almost all day inside yesterday just recuperating. If it's not the pericarditis, it's just because I'm too active, you know. I remember coming by here years ago, and there's a house coming up there. I don't know if it'll be there or not, but there was a guy who had a Volvo P1800. So if you know cars, you know that is undoubtedly the coolest Volvo that was ever made, really. You know. It's funny, I also forgot to mention that there was a neighbor a little bit further from there. Nice lady, she had a Hyundai Pony. I remember I got a ride home in it one time. And yeah, I remember even as a kid I felt taller than the car. I don't know if you're going to hear everything I say because of the wind there. The wind, she's a-blowing. This I don't remember at all. That was done not that long ago because, I don't know, maybe there was a house that burnt down there or something. I don't know. Actually, as a matter of fact, these two homes here, they don't look very old. Maybe I'm wrong, but they don't have the same type of look, design, you know. Because all these homes, they all have that similar design. You can go all the way to the end of the back here, the last street, which is, what is it, 15th, 16th Street, and there's homes like that, look like that more of anything, you know. Yeah. Beautiful morning. Why is it every time I do a walking video, I'm always walking up, for Christ's sake? Actually, I wanted to do a video also of Center Commercial Street. You guys know this area. where it's called that because that's a commercial area, you know, and the fire station's there and But again, the sun, since the sun is there, I was walking that way due south, wouldn't have looked good, but this is really great. And now all of a sudden I gotta take a whiz. It's bad timing because I had all that water, and I see a Lincoln LS, and there's one in my neighborhood actually. Ooh, look at that motif of the rocks on the wall of that house. That's beautiful. Remember my mom, she had a friend on this street here. Her name was Therese. Nice lady. Yeah. But you know, as much as it's nice to come back here and show you all this again, it kind of sucks in a way, you know, because I think more than ever it sucks to be nostalgic because life it's not very good today, you know. Oh, look at this, they changed the street signs here. Ooh. Well, they must have really needed changing then, because, you know, the good old days, they're never coming back, eh? The simpler times, cheaper cost of living, people were simpler, the cars were nicer, the music was better, you know. Now the wind is actually coming from the west, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to really... How am I going to point the camera to this way when the wind is coming from there? You're not going to hear anything I say. It's funny because I hear a jet, but I don't see it. I remember one time I came here years ago, though, and this guy driving real slow with the white minivan. Looks like he could be undercover. And actually, I was at Center Commercial where the train tracks are. Well, we'll just walk backwards, I guess, a bit. And I saw this cop car drive by, and imagine, I mean, when I lived here, you never saw any police around here. Never, none, zero. There wasn't any crime. Just like so many places, you know, or even more of an... That's a beautiful home. Wow, that looks like it was completely redone. But even more of an example is when you go to, like when I lived in Ville Saint-Pierre, which is a ghetto, and somebody in the dépanneur one time, they told me that... ooh, what's under there? They told me that, in fact, back in the day, people would leave their doors unlocked. I mean, that's really hard to fathom today, hard to imagine that. I mean, Jesus Christ, the only places people leave their doors unlocked is in the country, you know? Well, I think if I would have seen that Volvo, it would have been here by now, eh? Frankly. Oh, and of course, man, I smell a skunk big time. Yeah, of course, I can't help thinking of my 65 Buick LeSabre there. I talk about that car a lot, the big white LeSabre with the metallic green interior. And I remember one time, it belonged to my friend, my friend Ralph Thurston. He was my scout leader in my troop. And I remember one time, we had like a movie night, you know, and he came to pick us all up. He came to pick us up. I think we were like 5 guys. And he picked us up, and he came and pulled into my big driveway behind my dad's Delta. And I remember that. We went to the movie theater in Dorval. I don't fucking remember what the movie was. God, who the hell knows what the movie I saw was. I don't remember. But that car was just magical. Everybody called that car Ralphine because it belonged to Ralph, my friend, the scout leader, who passed away, unfortunately, in 1997 of prostate cancer at 53. And they called the car Ralphine because it was a mean-looking son of a bitch, that's why. And I loved that car so much that I remember the first time I saw it, it was at one of our meetings, and at the church, the Roxboro church was not far from here. And I was just, you know, it was in the low sun there. It was a summer evening. I was just blown away by its girth and its lines and the W-shaped front end and rear end. And like, wow, you know. Actually, the church is right below the street coming up here. But I don't want to walk down there because I want to do this a complete walk. And where am I going to go from here after this? I don't know. But again, I have to watch. I'm going to have to take a break somewhere. And I got to take a squirt somewhere. And that's the problem. When you got to take a whiz, near places like that, it's really not easy. I mean, look, where are you supposed to go around here, you know? Where am I going to go? So I got to go to, when I'm done this walk on this street, then I'm going to go to Sources Boulevard, the commercial street, which is right near here, which I'm near. Just want to get a shot of the sign there. What's that noise? '17th Avenue, 9e Rue. I like the little logo, that's kind of cute. Kind of kept a sort of an exclusivity to the Roxboro. And that's a big deal for me because everybody calls this Roxboro Pierrefonds. Well, when I was a kid, up until 2000, Roxboro merged with Pierrefonds. That's why people call it Roxboro Pierrefonds. But to me, it's still just Roxboro. And part of the church, the United Church, is over there. You can't really see it too well, but you know, I can't help think to myself, it would be something else if I actually ran into somebody that from my childhood days in this neighborhood that I grew up with, and you know, they recognized me, and because I don't recognize people too easily. And actually, speaking of childhood friends, and when I was in Scouts, I'm gonna walk a little bit faster here because, like I said, I have to drain the vein. Sorry if you're a snowflake and offended by that. Well, you know, don't watch my videos. I mean, I'm trying to swear less, though, you know, try to do you a courtesy. Hey, that reminds me, I saw a freaking Cadillac taxi. I couldn't believe that. I saw that right when I walked out of Covert-sur Metro, like, what, an hour ago. Anyway, coming up to a friend of mine's house that was in Scouts with me back in the day, there in the 80s up until 94, up until I was 17, 18. Oh, yeah, a long time. It was Anthony, my friend Anthony Burkers. Actually was friends with Robbie McDonald, who was who became a friend of mine as well too, I guess, since his brother Robbie and my friendship didn't last too long. But anyway, Anthony, interesting, his dad often drove us to these camps we went to, you know, for the weekend and come pick us up. And I remember he had a K car, right? He had an an Aries or a Lion. But what was really more interesting than that is that the guy had two vintage Mercedeses from like the early 70s. I think one was a 72. One was like light yellow, the other one was like green. And the house, I think, was one of these ones here. And I remember his dad was a smoker too. And it's funny because at that time, you know, I didn't smoke. You know, I started smoking, I think, just a bit after my brother, which was like, what, 93 or 4 or something stupid like that. And but yeah, that Mercedes, man, I remember specifically coming back one time from a camp. It had rained all weekend, I think. It was in the fall. I don't know where the fuck it was, but and what was playing on Oldies 990 AM in that light yellow Mercedes with its very springy type seats was the song In the Year 2525 by Zager and Evans. In the year 2525. Boy, it'd be nice actually to see an oldie to go along with what I'm talking about. I haven't seen nothing. The only thing that's actually really old here is this old Saab here. You know, better have deep pockets if you have one of these cars. And man, I'm getting out of breath here a bit. Anyway, so just a lot of great memories. A lot of great memories of friends and cars and music and family. And Sources Boulevard is right there, actually. Well, we're gonna finish this up at 14th Street. Now, I had another childhood friend. Boy, it's funny. I guess they decided that, well, that we're running out of money. We don't want to put any more sidewalks here, eh? So much for that. But I had another childhood friend. And it's funny because actually he I don't know if he's still, oh boy, this guy's a major Volks guy. Anyway, my friend Doug Clark, he lives in Alberta, the Volks guy. And look at this, there's a Mustang guy. People are predictable. Anyway, we were friends from school, elementary school. My elementary school was Charles A. Kirkland, which was near close to that church. Okay, the camera stopped recording there because it does that sometimes. It clicks off when it's recorded for about 15 minutes. And I think he lived in this house right here. Pretty sure about that. And I remember at that time in the late 80s, they had like a 78 Cutlass. It was black with a red interior. Maybe that wasn't a coincidence because, you know, Doug was black. So, but it's funny because, you know, when you're a kid, you don't see color. It doesn't fucking matter, you know. I don't know what it is about getting older, but sometimes you get older, you just, you know, I don't know, we just become more judgmental. No? Am I wrong? You know, my father, I remember he said, as much as he was negative, and I think he would suffer from his own demons, you know, when I heard him say one time, I'm not racist, prejudiced, I think it's true. I never heard him talk ever badly about anybody of another ethnicity, you know. Even me, I can admit I'm prejudiced at times, you know, I mean, but then again, I think we're all prejudiced, seriously. You know, I mean, look at all these fucking preachers and priests and, okay then. You know, they're coming off about Jesus is going to save you or you're going to go to hell for this and that. I mean, never mind all the pedophilia and all that crap. What about just like, you know, again, the hate towards, you you know, a white priest against black people and this and that, or Chinese, or, I mean, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. Anyway, we're almost done with this shiz. Coming up to 14th Street here. And hope you enjoyed this, and if not, well, you know, whatever. This is not this is not the Ville de Montréal, really, you know. I mean, it's on the island of Montreal, but. And by the way, check out my wares there, my retro old school. I got some great merchandise. Check that out. Should have an ad you can see below my stuff there. What's great about that stuff too, by the way, is that all that stuff, whether it's hoodies or shirts or masks or whatever, oh my god, look at this, holy mackerel. That's an SC400 Lexus from the 90s. Those were never common. Man, that's cool. I want to do a feature of one. Sorry, but anyway, there should be a banner ad below the video. Check it out. You know, again, you're supporting me as well, a guy who's not rich and enjoys what he does. And what I want to say is that every one of these items has my artwork that I've done over the years. Not all of it yet, it's because I've done a lot, paintings and drawings. But anyway, so check that out, and take care. Thanks for watching. Merci beaucoup, and that's it, man. So stay good, wash your hands, keep your distances, you know, yada yada yada. I gotta go to the bathroom. Take it easy. Adios. Merci beaucoup. Oh, by the way, my friend Ralph, who had the '65 Buick, used to live right down there. Bye bye.